We want to bring in now David Susi. He is a former FAA safety and accident inspector, I should say, and a CNN safety analyst. And David, good to see you. You're just back from Hawaii, and you would understand, first of all, the challenges that investigators are going to face as they begin the investigation there.
Yes, that Nepali coast, which is known as the Jurassic Park coast, is something that's just horribly difficult to get into and out of. So the fact that they found those there and they'll be extracting those bodies from there first, that'll be the first step. But the winds there were horrible. I was scheduled for a flight with my family the day before this incident, and it was canceled due to high winds. And I can't say that that's the cause of this, of course, at this point, but I do know that we were canceled that day before.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, I want to get to this. At least 5 people are dead, we know, and 4 others injured after a small plane crash in Louisiana. One passenger survived the wreck after that plane went down into a field minutes after takeoff. This morning, the Lafayette Fire Department saying that they don't really know yet how many passengers were on that plane. The chief adds that 3 people on the ground were also rushed to the hospital, and federal investigators are headed to the scene. Here's what they had to say.
Limited information. We're only going to see this one time, and we're not going to repeat it again. We're going to let the feds take over from there. But the plane is taking off from the airport and crashed in this particular area.
So, David, what are investigators going to be looking for first when they arrive?
Well, we understand that there's one witness that saw smoke coming from the aircraft prior to the crash site. So just with that one small piece of evidence, I know that I've worked on this Cheyenne 2 airplane before, not this particular one, but this model, and it's a very high-performance aircraft with turbos on the engines, and I have had problems with those before with oil and the turbines going out. Again, it's too early to speculate on that, but it appears by the evidence of the witness on site that there was smoke coming from it, which would indicate that the turbine had failed in the amount of smoke that was coming out of the engine.
And, of course, this occurred shortly after takeoff, so what does that suggest?
Well, that's when the highest power is coming out of that engine. I looked at the airspeed on flight radar, and it shows that the airspeed never exceeded 200 miles per hour. So that indicates that the pilot had a controlled movement. In other words, he was intending to land and picked an area that would have been safe. However, it looks like he hit wires on the way down, which are nearly impossible to see. So that could have interfered with his ability to make a safe landing in that particular area.
Weather, and it's always something we consider. And the weather conditions at the time, there was, I think, fog and mist was listed, but the visibility at 3/4 of a mile, so that's not horrendous, is it?
No, it's not really that terrible. You know, if you look at it, it was overcast, which might affect the ability to see those wires because they're gray wires. So that can affect that ability. On a sunny day, he may have been able to see that was not the ideal place to land. But in that case, I don't think the weather caused the accident, but it may have been a contributing factor when selecting the place to land.
Yeah. David, your insights are always well received. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark.